Hi, welcome to the Speeding Bulletin. My name is Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com. This is all the Superman related news that happened during the week November 26th to December 2nd, 2010. The Geek Files claims that casting for Superman for the upcoming movie has not yet begun, contrary to reports posted elsewhere on the internet. They also added that Warner Bros. Is going for a new look altogether. Both they and comicbookmovie.com spoke with Superman hopeful Anderson Davis, who said, "Though I love Reeves' portrayal, I would try to take it down another path. Superman is such an iconic character." Hitfix.com attended the Warner Bros. Celebration for the DVD and Blu-ray release of Inception on Tuesday evening in Hollywood, where Christopher Nolan's wife and collaborator Emma Thomas told them that Nolan will be busy making The Dark Knight Rises and will therefore hand off Superman to Snyder. So it appears that Nolan will have no further creative input into Superman beyond the script that he and David Goyer now leave in Zack Snyder's hands. IndieWire's Thompson on Hollywood indicates that Hans Zimmer is indeed going to be scoring the new Superman movie, with the news apparently leaking out at Tuesday night's Inception DVD release party. You recall that late in October we reported that Zimmer was of the opinion that the John Williams theme should not be used in this new movie. Deadline.com caught up with actor-director Ben Affleck to talk to him about his new movie The Town and asked him just how close he came to possibly directing the upcoming Superman movie. He said, "There are a lot of guys ahead of me on the list to do epic effects movies." Warner Home Video released details on their next animated movie release, All-Star Superman. Scheduled for release on February 22nd, 2011, in All-Star Superman, the Man of Steel rescues an ill-fated mission to the Sun, sabotaged by Lex Luthor, and in the process is oversaturated by radiation, which accelerates his cell degeneration. Sensing even he will be unable to cheat death, Superman ventures into new realms, finally revealing his secret to Lois, confronting Lex Luthor's perspective of humanity, and attempting to ensure Earth's safety before his own impending end with one final selfless act. Superman homepage writer Barry Fryman reviewed Superman Shazam: The Return of Black Adam, saying, "What's most impressive about this short is it feels like a complete story with well-developed characters." Come by the site now to read his review of the DVD and Blu-ray release. In TV news, Luthor, the 10th episode of Season 10 of Smallville, airs tonight, Friday, December 3rd at 8 PM on the CW. In this episode, Clark is transported to a parallel universe by a Kryptonian box that once belonged to Lionel Luthor. In this world, he has been adopted by the Luthors instead of the Kents, and has grown up to be a killer. Without tipping his hand, Clark looks for a way to get back to his own universe, where he has been replaced by his murderous double. Look for our episode summary and reviews in the days following this episode. E-Online interviewed John Glover discussing his return to Smallville. On the topic of Tess being Lionel's daughter, he said, "I was shocked, but then I saw her and everything was fine because Cassidy is swell. We had a great time working together." Zap2it.com was amongst a few media sites to get phone time with Cassidy Freeman ahead of tonight's Luthor episode. Just how her new friends will react when they find out that Tess has Luthor blood in her veins, she said, "They'll have a choice, if and when they find out. They can accept her for it and base their judgment on her actions, or they can totally not accept it and push her away." Zap2it.com also caught up with Smallville's executive producers to get some info on upcoming episodes of the show's 10th and final season. In regards to Lois and Clark being journalists, Peterson says, "You don't see a lot of them at work. That's actually part of the issue between them now, is that Clark is very busy being a hero." Kelly Souders told TV Guide's Megabuzz that there are still some things that Clark has to change before he becomes a dual identity that we know. There will be hints along the way that he's getting closer and closer to that sort of split personality. Superman homepage reviewer James Lance continues reviewing episodes from the 1950s Adventures of Superman TV series. Check out his review of the Season 3 finale, King for a Day, in which Jimmy helps out by impersonating Prince Gregory of Begonia and ends up targeted for assassination. In comic book news, the Superman homepage Ask Matt fan forum has been updated once again. Come by the site now to see what Superman comics editor Matt Idelson had to say in response to the questions put to him by fellow Superman fans. Superman comic books we reviewed this week included Action Comics 895, which was reviewed by Neal Bailey, his final review for the site, which he rated a 4 out of 5, saying, "It swings back and kicks at what's been great about the series so far." While Ralph Silver reviewed JLA the 99 number 2, giving it a 3 out of 5 for the cultural and political implications of this book. Superman comics shipping this week from December 1st include Action Comics Annual number 13, DC Comics presents Batman Beyond number 1, and Super Friends Head of the Class trade paperback. Superman homepage Super Trivia Quiz has been updated for another month. The 3 questions we're asking you this time around are: What was Lana Lang's profession in Superman the Animated Series? Before Kryptonite, Jerry Siegel wrote an unpublished story about a similar element that was harmful to Superman. What was the element called? And according to the Times newspaper in Superman the Movie, what buzzed Metropolis? If you think you can answer all three questions, come by the site now and submit your entry. Graphic designer Matt Kunz was commissioned to create a Superman map of Cleveland, Ohio, showcasing the locations significant to the Man of Steel's creation. You can read Matt's complete article on the design of Superman's map at edgeofspace.net. You can pick up a free copy of the map at Carol and John's comic shop in Cleveland, Ohio, or you can download the PDF file of the map from edgeofspace.net as well. That's all the Superman news there was for the week November 26th to December 2nd. I'm Steve Younis from supermanhomepage.com.
Hello and welcome to Bailey Planet. I have been a part of the Superman homepage for 10 years now. I started in the summer of 2000, and I believe it was a Jeff Loeb one first. I don't know. I've written over 1,000 articles of varying kinds and sorts for the site over the years. And the very first one I did was, I believe, a mostly positive review. And of that, I guess probably half have been positive, half have been negative. But you'd think that you only do a negative from the mail you get. But first 5 years were pretty crazy. Started out with basically Superman going from the triangle numbering system to the Loeb and Kelly, and all through the whole reintroduction of Crypto and the reintroduction of Bizarro and New Bizarro. It takes you all the way to 2005, which is the era of where things got really kind of crazy and bonkers, and you had your period of time with your Joe Casey, leading into Chuck Austin, and you had this whole period of time where Jeff Loeb was one of the main drives of the book, and which leading into Superman, Batman, Lex Luthor as president occurred during that time. He did get a second term. And a lot of lack of movie news. That was so it was mainly comic focal, and of course Smallville started. And you had the arc where the first 3 years were very great in terms of like something that had never been done Superman wise before, and then in the fourth and fifth years things started going downhill, and the review went from a very small thing to a very large thing that involved a lot of letters and a lot of craziness. And I think the thing that I'll remember the most about the first 5 years is the Rebecca Cyrus thing. I don't know if any of you remember that, but people complained that my reviews were too negative, so I posted another review that I wrote that was entirely positive and very critical of me, by a lady named Rebecca Cyrus, and so what happened was, I started getting letters from people, saying, "Oh, you're so great, and that Neal sucks, he's never positive," it's like never missing the irony of the fact that they're being negative. And that went on. It started, I believe, in August or September, and it was supposed to go till April. I was going to do it, and then at the end of the year be like, April Fools, I'm Neal, Rebecca. But I couldn't go on far enough because people just got too passionate and upset about it, and I was actually losing friends because people who had been my friends wrote her and were like, "Gee, you have a point, he is kind of a," and then people would write her with vitriolic stuff that, really, ladies shouldn't have to hear, and I, as a lady, was a bit upset. So, yeah, they were 5 great years, and that led right into Superman Returns, which I'll cover next week.